Just because I'm just sort of enraged when I hear the White House put out materials, my brothers and sisters on the left put out materials, talk about this wonderful economy, the Biden economy, the Biden economics. So let's actually deal with some real life math. Amortized change in real disposable personal income per capita. If under President Trump, it was amazing. It went up 5.1%. Under President Obama, it went up 1.2%. But under President Biden so far, and this is annualized per capita, your income, if you're an average American, is down 4.5%. You are poorer today. You are poorer today than the day President Biden took office. That's the left's idea of a wonderful economy? Come on, these are people. You think actually there would be this passion behind these microphones, particularly on the other side, saying something's wrong out there, inflation, and then salaries haven't kept up to the inflation, and our spending and some of the things the Fed did set this off. We care. Instead of just trying to lie and cover it up and say things that just aren't true. So let's go into this a little more. There's just another way to calculate when you start to do change in real average wages for baseline middle-class workers. And we've actually done adjustments on this for raises of income. So let's say you're that truck driver. Your wages have gone up, but inflation has gone up more. You're 3.5% poorer now. You are poorer today than the day before Biden took office. Now, fascinating thing is those 4 years of Trump, whether you love the guy or don't love him, I don't care, the math is still the math. Your real purchasing power, you're up 9.8%. Do you see the delta here? Yet, how often do you hear this from the talking heads on cable television or in the print press here in Washington, D.C., that Americans, the working population in this country, you wonder why they're angry. They're poorer today than they were a couple years ago. And as I often come behind this microphone, is that moral? Now, you can make excuses why it is, but we have these debates here, and it's like our friends on the other side won't admit America's poor today because of what they did. And now we have to start dealing with the other side of this equation. So think of this. Because of inflation, America is poor. And something that is really hard for many people to process in their head, you do realize you and I have lived through probably the largest tax hike in modern history over the last 2 years. And you go, huh? What do you think inflation does? Okay, remember your high school economics class. Who does inflation help? Borrowers. Who's the biggest borrower in the world? United States. But who does it hurt? Workers and savers. So if you're that saver, you've been saving for your retirement, so your kid's education, or you're out there busting your backside. The fact of the matter is inflation devalued.
It has been confirmed. Food insecurity has only worsened in the United States after federal crisis aid expired in March. But the only good news is that now several states are going to be sending out millions of dollars in extra benefits to their residents. Dear friends, if you reside in one of these states, it may be likely that you'll qualify for hundreds of dollars in direct financial aid. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for all of the details. My dearest friends, if you'd like to enter these weekly giveaways, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. When federal crisis aid that had boosted food stamp benefits expired this year, analysts and advocates warn that gains in combating poverty and food insecurity would quickly erode. A recent report shows early evidence that their concerns are being realized. Consumer spending data released this week by Morning Consult shows that 47% of households that earn less than $50,000 per year reported receiving food benefits in May. That was up sharply from 39% in February, a month before the end of the emergency allotment, which saw monthly payments drop by at least $95 for each SNAP recipient. The report also found that while households making more than $50,000 per year spent about 9% more in groceries over the past 2 months, those earning less than that spent about 3% less of their income on food over the same period. The divergence suggests that food inflation is affecting consumers of different means unevenly, even as price increases slowed down across the economy. The cost of groceries eaten at home remained 5.8% higher as of last month, more than the year before, ahead of the overall 4% inflation rate. Sophia Begg, an economist at Morning Consult, stated, "It could be that persistent inflation is getting to people's budgets, and now it's starting to squeeze them more, and they need to rely on these other sources of income to subsidize their grocery spending." The latest federal data available showed that the average monthly SNAP benefit fell in March from $204 to $204 from $248 in February. So more than 22 million households were enrolled in the program as of March of this year. The report comes weeks after the bipartisan debt limit deal enacted tighter work requirements for many single SNAP recipients in their early 50s, in exchange for looser ones for veterans, homeless people, and youths who are aging out of foster care. Policy analysts and anti-hunger advocates who criticized some of those changes at that time said the Morning Consult report shows why ongoing efforts to reduce access to SNAP at both the state and federal levels are only contributing to food insecurity. But conservative economists and policymakers have said that generous SNAP assistance is not appropriate given the nation's persistently hot labor market, with some arguing that the program keeps too many people out of the workforce. A NBC News analysis of Census Bureau and other public data found that the majority of U.S. households receiving SNAP benefits are already working, and that the program's participation rate tracks changes in poverty levels much more closely than unemployment. So, dear friends, what do you think the requirements should be to receive SNAP benefits? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. But fortunately, some states have approved extra benefits for their residents. In just 8 days, the state of Illinois will send residents extra benefits to pay for their water bills. The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program is a federally funded program that helps eligible Americans across the country with fuel and cooling costs. It also aids those who are facing an emergency situation relating to heating equipment or bills. Illinois recipients can qualify for assistance with water and wastewater bills under the Low-Income Household Water Assistance Program. Assistance payments are made directly to the utility on behalf of the applicant. If the situation is that the heat is included in a recipient's rent, the payment will be made directly to the recipient instead. Payments will vary based on the cost of the utility bill. In Illinois, the maximum utility bill payment is $2,020, and the minimum payment is $175. Also, Arkansas residents who applied and were approved can expect benefits from the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program starting this July 10th. Over a dozen counties will be issued payments for the summer. The amount of assistance depends on the number of individuals in a home, household income, and the size of the cooling bill. The maximum amount of relief for cooling that residents can receive is $475, and the minimum cooling payment will be $48. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways.